Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to jump into another deep dive, and this time we're taking on Act 2, Scene 4 of Shakespeare's Macbeth. For those who've maybe forgotten or haven't gotten there yet, King Duncan was murdered in the previous scene.
Yeah, right off stage, we didn't actually see it happen.
Exactly. So now, in Scene 4, we're dealing with the aftershocks, I guess you could say.
Definitely. The world of the play is reacting to this regicide.
And it starts with this conversation between Ross, who's a nobleman, and this mysterious old man.
Yeah, the old man. Always a fun character in Shakespeare, right? Full of wisdom and cryptic observations.
Totally. And right away, there's this sense of, like, something being deeply wrong, even before we know all the details of what happened. It's like a shift in the atmosphere.
Well, think about it. Shakespeare opens with this old man who's like ancient, right? He's seen a lot in his lifetime.
Yeah, he's like the voice of experience.
Exactly. And he even says, 70 I can remember well, but this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Whoa, that's heavy.
Right. He's basically saying everything he thought he understood about the world, about the natural order of things, is like totally shattered.
And that's just in the first few lines of the scene. I mean, talk about setting the tone.
Oh, absolutely. Shakespeare knows how to grab your attention from the start, and then he keeps going with this imagery.
Oh, yeah, the imagery. Like, it's daytime, but Ross describes the sky as being dark, almost like dark night strangles the traveling lamp of the sun.
Super vivid, right? And so unsettling, it creates this feeling of dread, like something evil has infected the world itself.
It's almost as if the murder of the king has thrown everything off balance. Nature itself is reacting.
Precisely. And remember, Shakespeare often uses the natural world, like storms, eclipses, animal behavior, to mirror what's happening in the human world, in the lives of his characters.
So it's not just like random weird weather. It's symbolic.
Absolutely. It's all connected to the themes of the play, like the disruption of order, the consequences of ambition.
So, getting back to that old man, he doesn't stop with the darkness thing, does he? He goes on to describe these other strange events that have been happening.
Oh, yeah, those. First, there's the falcon being killed by an owl.
Yeah, the falcon, like a majestic hunting bird.
Exactly, a symbol of nobility and power. And it gets taken down by this owl, this creature of the night.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. The owl, smaller and considered less noble, overpowers the falcon. Another inversion of the natural order.
Exactly, just like the darkness overtaking the sun. And then it gets even weirder with Duncan's horses.
Wait, the horses, what about them?
Well, they break free from their stables and start acting crazy. The old man even says, 'tis said they eat each other.
Whoa, hold on. They eat each other. Okay, that's definitely not normal horse behavior.
Right, it's like they've been driven mad. And again, think about what horses represent. Strength, power, loyalty. And here they are, symbols of the kingdom itself, turning on each other, consuming each other.
I'm starting to see the connection. It's like these unnatural events in nature are mirroring the unnatural act of regicide.
Exactly. Shakespeare's showing us the chaos and the breakdown of order that follows Duncan's murder.
It's like a ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
The consequences are spreading outward.
Yeah, like a stain that can't be contained.
Okay, so we've got this sense of unease, this disruption of the natural order, and then bam, enter Macduff.
The Thane of Fife.
And with him comes the official news. Duncan is dead.
And it spreads like wildfire, doesn't it? Everyone's talking about it, trying to make sense of it.
Well, I mean, regicide is kind of a big deal, right? It throws everything into question.
Totally. And almost immediately, suspicion falls on Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donald Bane.
Well, they did run away, which, I guess does make them look a little guilty.
It does. Although, to be fair, it was a pretty chaotic situation.
Yeah, if they stayed, who knows what would have happened to them. But it's interesting, the characters' reactions to this news, right? Everyone's processing it differently.
Oh, absolutely. You have some who are genuinely grief-stricken, like Macduff, who discovers Duncan's body.
Right. And then there's Ross. His reaction really stood out to me. He says, "'Gainst nature still, thriftless ambition, that will ravine up thine own life's means."
Oh, that's a good one. It's such a loaded statement, don't you think?
Yeah, it's like he's talking about ambition, this unchecked desire for power, and how it will ultimately destroy itself.
Almost like a prophecy. And it's interesting because at this point in the play, he doesn't even know that Macbeth is the murderer.
Right. He has no idea. But it's like Shakespeare is giving us, the audience, a little wink. Like, hey, pay attention to this. It's going to be important later.
Exactly. It's foreshadowing, hinting at the consequences that await Macbeth.
Okay, so we've got a dead king. His sons are on the run. And the throne is, well, vacant, and of course, Macbeth is right there, ready to step in.
As if by chance.
Right. And just like that, he's named king, and off he goes to Scone for his coronation.
But not everyone's buying it. Not everyone's thrilled with this new regime.
That's where Macduff comes in again, right?
Yeah. Remember how he reacted to the news of Duncan's murder? He's clearly suspicious. And then when it comes time for the coronation, he's like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, he chooses to go back home to Fife instead. And his last line is just like dripping with foreshadowing. He says, "Lest our old robes sit easier than our new."
Ooh, that's a good one. What do you think he means by that?
I think he's sensing that things are going to get a lot worse. That this change in leadership, this new order, isn't going to be a good thing. It's like he's anticipating a struggle, maybe even a rebellion.
It definitely has that feeling of unease, like he's bracing himself for what's to come.
Totally.
Yeah.
But before everyone goes their separate ways, there's this interesting moment with the old man.
Oh, right. He gives his blessing.
Yeah, he's hoping that some good will come from this tragedy, from all this darkness, which is honestly kind of surprising given everything that's just happened.
It is. But it also adds a layer of complexity to the scene, because even in the face of this horrible act, there's still this belief that something good might emerge. It makes you wonder, is redemption possible for Macbeth? Or is he doomed to follow this path of destruction?
That's a great question. And honestly, I think it's one of the things that makes Macbeth so fascinating to read and discuss. So to anyone out there who's studying this play, pay attention to how Scene 4 sets the stage for everything that follows.
Exactly. It's like a microcosm of the entire play. You have themes of ambition, betrayal, the consequences of violence, the struggle between order and chaos.
And don't forget those powerful images, the darkness, the falcon, and the owl, those crazy horses. Shakespeare uses them for a reason, so think about what they might symbolize and how they connect to the bigger picture.
And as you continue reading, ask yourself, does any good come from this tragedy? Does anyone find redemption? Or does the darkness just keep spreading? I think you'll find that the answers might surprise you.
All right, everyone, that's it for this deep dive into Act 2, Scene 4 of Macbeth. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
See you then.